everybody, and we would have to sit up, do some more, because we are virtually the safe haven in the sub-region, and if we don't do something about it, the terrorists within the sub-region who could take advantage.
Yeah. So thank you both so much for being with us this morning. We'll take a look at our first story here. I'm reading from secessionism.com. It says members of secessionist group allegedly attack STC, beat up drivers, burn down bus. A group of people suspected to be members of the separatist group advocating for independence from Ghana for the Western Togoland state has attacked the State Transport Corporation in the Volta region capital, Ho, and set ablaze one of its buses. The incident, according to Citi News sources, occurred around midnight on Monday. The members of the group reportedly fired gunshots before proceeding to beat up some drivers. There is currently heavy security presence at the scene. This is the latest incident by the group pushing for an independent Western Togoland following last Friday's roadblocks and attacks on 2 police stations. On Friday, members of the Western Togoland secessionist group, the Homeland Study Foundation, mounted roadblocks on the Juapong-Accra and Sogakope-Accra main roads. Some attackers also besieged the Aveime and Mepe police stations, freeing inmates and making away with assault rifles and shotguns. A group also attacked the North Tongu District Assembly and made away with a Toyota Hilux pickup vehicle belonging to the assembly after they took the official Toyota Land Cruiser pickup belonging to the Tongu Divisional Commander of Police. Now, they're doing a lot of things since last Friday. I want to start with you, Richard, on this, because we all know that when this thing happened sometime last year, most people laughed that they were just old men. We don't even know why the security members are going after them. And now it looks like young people have joined and just making life very difficult for the average Ghanaian.
Thank you very much. And let me say good morning again to your viewers. To a large extent, I keep wondering why this group has existed since 1994, and over the years it's like we've dealt with them with kid gloves. They've been 26 years in the making. Now they've grown into thorns in our flesh. And initially I said the sub-region is gradually being taken over by terrorist groups, and we shouldn't kid ourselves. There are various interest groups across the sub-region, not just in Ghana, who would want to take advantage of this situation and destabilize our country. Look, take a typical example of Joseph Kony. I don't know if, I'm sure if some viewers have read about him or heard about him. He virtually was of so much nuisance to Uganda between 1986 and 2009. The country knew no peace. They were based in the bush. He captured kids and women. The Lord's Resistance Army, that's the name. And they kept making that country a very difficult country to run. Look, beyond Uganda, he grew into the Central African Republic, South Sudan, currently Democratic Republic of Congo. That is how, if you leave such groups to themselves.
So why didn't we tame them when they started in the beginning? Why have we waited for it to get to this point?
1994. And it's transcended several governments, and now they have grown into what they are. And seriously, for me, and this I'm speaking from the bottom of my heart, and they are lucky they have an Akufo-Addo as a president who is democratic in nature and we want the law to take its course. If I was leading a team to go arrest these people, I'm telling you, no 31 people would have come back here alive.
But their lawyers are saying that some of them are not even part of the group. So
for them to even engage the military in a gun
the wrong
battle.
place at the wrong time.
Really?
Their lawyers are saying that
and they were engaging in battle with the armed forces. They retrieved ammunition from them. The democracy we are practicing is a bit fragile, and we need to measure things. Seriously, I was disappointed that we airlifted 31 of them down here. Because you need to set an example. Let people realize that if you belong to this group, you know no peace, you have no sleep. This is a terrorist group. We should designate them as such and deal with them as such.
Richard, for the benefit of our viewers, let me read what their lawyers said.
That is their
what their lawyers said
really
on
look,
Eyewitness
it is his
News.
job. It is his job yesterday. To do that. I'm saying
but
that.
At least, can I quote what he said?
Yeah, quote him.
Okay, I'm reading from CitiNewsroom.com. The story says, "My clients are innocent. Lawyer of 31 suspected secessionists." I'm just going to quote what he said. "They have nothing to do with any secessionist group in the Volta region. No one has recruited them into any secessionist group. These are innocent Ghanaians who were going about their lawful duties. Some of them are Nigerians, others were traveling from Ashaiman to Accra, others from the Volta region to Accra when they were arrested. The time they were arrested is very important. The police got to the scene at the time the real perpetrators had fled. So these people just happened to have been at the wrong place at the wrong time. Nothing incriminating was found on any of them. These ones cannot even hurt a fly." So he's referring to the 31 suspects.
That is his job as a lawyer. He needs to come say that in the first place. But I'm saying that, how come they engaged the military in the gun battle if they were there at the wrong time and all those things?
Okay.
You see, my only problem is that somehow sometimes we the politicians too are irresponsible. We started politicizing this. We leave the main issue aside, try to gain political capital. Then the guys will have a leeway and operate. We are forgetting that their operation and their existence is a national security threat. In the end, the effect has no NDC or NPP color. The effect is on the state. And I'm saying these are terrorists who should be designated as such,
okay,
and dealt with all the harshness that they deserve. We need to flush them out,
okay,
and make it so uncomfortable to want to even call yourself a secessionist, whatsoever it is.
Okay.
But with all the laws that we have in this country, I would urge the government to designate them as a domestic terrorist group and get the laws that we need on our side to deal with them.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Richard.
Well, if I'm terrified by the thoughts of my brother Richard, I'm thankful that he is not the president and he's not leading, the charge against these people who obviously deserve to be dealt with for the, safety of this country. But the fact that these people, that is the, those responsible for the insecurity have to be dealt with, does not mean that anything in sight must be crushed without, intelligence and without caution. When he refers to the president as one who is democratic, I'm reminded to also put it on record as an aside that yesterday the minority held a press conference on the need for the Constitution to be, upheld, a provision in the Constitution to be upheld, and the Audit Service Act to also be upheld.
Yes, we'll be looking at that later on.
So I'm grateful that we will make time to look at that. I just wanted to put that across as an aside.
Yeah.
But if you look at what is happening in the Volta region, first of all, we need to listen to those who understand these issues better.
Yeah.
I've listened to a number of security experts, Colonel Festus Abuaji, Adib, Sakite, and others, they have all come to one conclusion, that our national security has failed us. They've all come to that conclusion. Some of them have even gone to the point of calling for the resignation of the people that we pay to keep us all safe. Because if you listen to media reports of the things that happened, especially over the weekend, you wonder how the media got there before the security. And in most instances, the people who were responsible for this insecurity left the places that they were causing the insecurity before our security personnel even got there. Then you have the regional minister give you details that make you wonder if indeed all that intelligence was available to them, how they failed to prevent some of the things that happened from happening. I mean, how difficult was it for them to have placed security at the places that he claims they knew the people had, intentions of attacking? And then you also cannot ignore the fact that he tells us that there are 3 groups now operating in the area. When we all thought, maybe those of us far away from it thought that you are just dealing with one group, because of the conspiracy theories that have come up, you now get additional information that you may be dealing with 3 different groups with 3 different motives. So actually, we cannot even tell us at yet which of the 3 groups, according to the regional minister, is responsible for what happened over the weekend and what happened this dawn at the STC yard. It's still difficult for us to tell which group is responsible, if indeed we have 3 groups operating, in the Volta region, on the basis of seeking independence for the area. And then you ask yourself, why will people seeking independence attack the people that they want to seek independence for? Why? Attack a lorry station, the people they want to seek the independence for. I mean, if you look at what has happened in other countries, mostly it is government or state institutions that are, targeted.
Yeah, I mean, even Ghana, when we wanted our independence, we didn't attack one another.
Yes, it is usually the state institutions and the state authorities that come under attack. But to have roadblocks, seizing people's phones so that they will not, be allowed to take pictures, and then, targeting markets, even in this country, when we have had markets being targeted as a result of military intervention, it has never been at the onset. So
do you agree with Richard that we should label them a local terrorist group and deal with them?
That is, again, the concern I have with labeling.
Okay.
Who in the military or in the security setup, let me not limit it to the military, decides that these people should be designated or labeled as rebels, as terrorists? These have international, connotations. Okay. They have meanings.
Okay.
And that is why I think that government is not doing enough. And I agree with the security experts that the ministers responsible for security must be answering questions.
What more should government be doing?
I think that this, insecurity situation in the Volta region has the tendency to destabilize this country, if you like, in much the same way as COVID. And I expect the president, the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, to take lead. He is also the chairman of ECOWAS, expected to deal with what is happening in Mali and other countries. He cannot pretend or act as if he is unaware of what is happening in his own backyard. There's a need for us to take the lead by speaking to us as a people, just as he took COVID seriously. He must speak to us on what is happening in the Volta region. He may not have to give us the details, but leave us with an assurance that they have a handle on this, instead of allowing the speculations the conspiracy theories and sometimes the suggestions that these people may even have some tacit approval from places that, power resides.
But his appointees have all addressed the issue, and they nipped it in the bud on Friday. They arrested 31 suspects. Is that not enough?
If they nipped it in the bud, we would not have a situation this dawn.
Okay.
So they didn't. And again, we also know now that it is just an allegation by the military or the government that the 31 people engaged them in a battle. It's an allegation. You were not there, I wasn't there. We can't prove that they indeed engaged the military. That's the 31 engaged the military or the security in a battle.
Okay.
It is yet to be proven. And it must be allowed to go through the process of law. So that, yes, as much as we want to crush the people causing the insecurity, innocent people must not be made victims.
Thank you very much. Hi there. We hope you enjoyed the show.
Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share with your friends.
This is Breakfast Daily on Citi TV.
Join the Breakfast Daily team Monday through Fridays from 7:30 a.m. to 10. Join us for breakfast daily, only on Citi TV.